In this video, I would like to go for a bit of analysis of these fundamental duties and the need for it and things like that. Okay. So, fundamental duties and analysis. See, first of all, I remember this fundamental, what we are trying to tell to everybody is this duties and rights are correlative. Okay. We are trying to say we have fundamental rights and we have duties, and both are correlative is one of the arguments we always put for, because this is, if you have right, you should have some duty also, something like that. Okay. So, we are saying that these are to serve. Why fundamental duties? These are to serve a constant reminder to every citizen, to serve a constant reminder to every citizen that while Constitution specifically conferred them certain fundamental rights, one Constitution is providing you, it is also required, it requires the citizen to observe certain basic norms of democratic conduct and democratic behavior. So, you have, since you have certain rights, you are expected to observe certain basic norms of democratic conduct and democratic behavior So, this is our argument. Since you are getting, since the Constitution is providing you with such rights, it is expected of you to behave in a democratic way and in a democratic, your context should be democratic in nature. Very good, that is okay. So, that is a very lofty ideal which we are talking. So, but a couple of points, let me just remind you, that is one aspect. Now, why in established democracies across the world, there are no fundamental duties. The only reference in a democratic constitution where there is fundamental duty is Japan, and some passing reference is in France. So, that is why if you are asked from where fundamental duties were incorporated, see, of course, first of all, please remember fundamental duties were not there during the Nehruvian time. Nehru did not add fundamental duty, even though he was the greatest socialist India has ever seen. So, fundamental duties we added only in 1946. During that time, the only democratic constitution where some fundamental duties were mentioned are Japan. So, that is why I will always go for Japan as the source of fundamental duties. So, please do not confuse about this. Okay. So, that is one aspect. And then it is also, many people argue that in India, the Indians or the people of India lay emphasis only on rights. Many critics argue that people of India lay emphasis only on rights and not on duties. Okay, not on duties. That is what critics always argue. But is it correct? Are we in laying emphasis only on our rights and are we not doing any duty? And on the face of it, on the superficially when you look, it may think that the statement is correct, but I strongly object to the statement. It is not correct. We are not only emphasizing on our rights, we are doing our duties also. It may not be these 10 duties the way it is written down. Right from, see, please understand, we have a right to ask for our, we have every right to emphasis on our rights, because after all, it is not a charity by the government to us. It is our, one of the basic things, natural rights, human rights. These human rights and basic natural rights are incorporated in our constitution through fundamental rights. And there is no harm, and we need not be apologetic about we are insisting on our right. We cannot be apologetic and we should not be apologetic. But at the same time, we are doing our duties. See, compared to the Western world, where are we doing the duty? See, in India, we have no social security network for aged people, for example. I am just giving you one example. Now, in Western world, in developed countries, what happens if once you become aged, once you are after the pension, you are taken care by the state. Pensions are given by the state. Old age homes are there. You are taken care. Hospitals will take care. You need not worry about making money or how to pay the hospital bill. Nothing you have to worry. It is the duty of the state. But in India, we don't have such social security network. It is purely, these old parents or old age people are critically dependent on their children and grandchildren. And, of course, there are problems in many families, but by and large, it is our duty. Please remember, it is our duty to take care of the aged people. So, are we not doing the duty? Definitely we are doing the duty. See, please remember, in Western world, in say in Europe, in US, for example, the parents' duty is to take care of their children from 0 to 18 years. After 18 years, the parents can ask their children to go out. It is not the responsibility of those parents to take care of the children after 18 years. So, some parents may even ask their children to find a job, find ways to live, because I have taken care of you till the age of 18, now it is up to you to decide where to go and what to do. That is the American or the Western system. And similarly, these children, when they grow up, and when these people, when the young parents become old, it is not the duty of their children to take care of the parents. It is the state's duty. It is the duty of the country, the state, to take care of the old age people. So, here in India, we don't have such a thing. So, we are doing a lot of duties like this. When we take care of our old parents, when we take care, when there is a problem in our locality, when there is a problem in our neighbor's house. See, for example, some of your distant relative also, if he or she is in hospital, who normally, if nobody is there to take care of them, we volunteer and say, I will come and stand with you or stay with you for a couple of days in a hospital. We do that. Are we not doing the duty? Yes. So, in India, we do many such duties which are not listed down in our, the whole thing. See, when there is a tragedy, when there is a national calamity, we all cooperate, we all support, we all provide relief, voluntary relief for, by the people. Just see, when there is an aircraft accident that in Calicut, in Kerala, even before the official, support came, the nearby people, the neighbors, they all use whatever means they could do. They could carry, they could take these injured people to the hospital. Are we not doing the duty? Yes, we are doing the duty. So, our duty right from time immemorial, right from ancient scriptures, our culture has taught us about certain duties. Culture has taught and educated us about duties. In a Sanskrit term called kartavya. Your duty, the duty towards your parents, the duty towards the society, the family, your children. So, we are all grown up in that culture of, you are being told, and we were, that is a part of our culture, that, we have to do certain duties, our kartavya, our duty. Kartavya means duty. Right from the ancient, in all our society, in all societies across India, in every religion, in India, we talk about the duties towards various people, including parents, children, the rest of the family members, everything. So, we do duties, and but yes, it is true that in 1976, in Constitution we incorporated it separately. Otherwise, we were also doing duties, and we are, we're mindful of our duty, no doubt regarding this. Now, then another question people ask is, if there are no duties in other democratic countries, are they, or are the citizens of those countries not doing any duty? So, in other democracies, how the citizens do their duty? That can be a natural question. We say we have listed down. We have an ancient culture also. See, in Western world, in other democracies, there may not be any specific duty written down in the constitution, but these people, the people of those countries, are very much aware of their duties and rights. And it is through their well organized education, through education, the upbringing, the way their schooling system is there, the way the education system is there, they ensure that these duties and rights are taught to their children right from a very young age. It is not through constitutional directive, it is automatically through their upbringing and education system. The schooling system which is there helps them in making it. And that is why they are, if you go in Japan and all, in Japan of course, they have some duty given. See, they are so concerned about covering their face. If they have a cough and cold, they will wear, they used to wear mask even before Corona time. And they used to maintain that social distancing, and they are very, very concerned about coughing, sneezing in public space, spitting. I mean, of course, even in Western world, nobody spits in the road, but in India, it's our fundamental right to spit everywhere. So, that kind of upbringing, that social etiquettes are told and taught in the school itself, and that is why they are able to do their duties properly. But in socialistic countries, there are duties. Nowadays, not many socialistic countries, in Russia, in East European countries, there used to be duties. But please remember, they are insisting on duties because in these countries there are right to work, right to food, then right to health. So, when the state is providing you work, state is providing you food, state is providing you health, health facilities, hospital, the state can ask you to do duties. So, socialistic countries ask for duties because these countries were insisting your right to work, food and health. In India, even today we don't have right to work, bare minimum food and all we just started. Even in our Corona time, when there is a massive lockdown, government is trying to project as if it's a charity to the people. Right to food, yes, right to food for 75% of the population in India, it is there. And right to health and all, bare minimum. So, unless we provide right to work and right to food and right to health, we cannot implement. So, why, the question you can say, why fundamental duties are not implemented in India? See, if fundamental duties are to be implemented, then there should be necessary education and awareness in the first place. One is education and awareness. And for that, we have to ensure that every child is in school. The entire population, all children should be in school. And they should have quality education. There should not be any dropouts. We are not able to ensure the children to be in, because first of all, we have to educate them. So, first of all, we failed in providing education and awareness. Number two, we are not able to implement fundamental duties because we are not able to provide the necessary right to work, right to food and right to health to all citizens in an unconditional manner. If we are able to provide these three, we can ask the citizens to do some duty also. So, in socialistic countries, they could insist and implement because they were providing education, work, food, health, etc. We failed. So, that is why we are not in a position to. So, these duties, the state, what I would like to say here is, the state has failed to do some of the basic duties, towards the citizens. That is why we are not able to implement or enforce fundamental duties. And that is why no punishment there is no punishment prescribed. No punishment prescribed for not doing the duty. No punishment prescribed for not doing the duty. Why? Because we are not able to, we have not provided education, we have not provided the right to work, health, basic amenities we have not given. It is the duty of the state to provide all these things. The state has failed, that is why duties are not given. And most importantly, let me just remind you, duties are a limitation on rights. Duties are limitation on rights. Don't forget this. Duties and rights cannot go together. If rights are there, then duty cannot be there. And if duty is there, then your rights are suffering. Your rights will suffer, no doubt regarding this. So that is why most of the Western world countries did not add duties in their constitution. So if you are asked about the implementation of the fundamental rights, you can always add this point, that the way we added fundamental duties in 1976, that has actually reduced the scope of fundamental rights. And most importantly, why did we add this duty in 1976? Achanak, how come the government realized that? Why? Now, the last question I would like to ask in this analysis is, why did we add fundamental duties in 1976? If Nehru, the greatest of the socialists, did not feel the need for fundamental duty, how come Indira Gandhi's time in 1976, after 25 years of independence, we realized that yes, 25 years of the constitution, we realized that there should be fundamental duty? The reason is, by this time, by 1976, more and more people started demanding their rights. Because more awareness to the people, more education to the people, people started demanding rights. And more people started going to the Supreme Court for enforcing their rights. So naturally, the ruling class, the elites, the politicians who were ruling, and even the bureaucrats, the IAS, IPS, big fellows, they started getting irritated about more and more people asking their rights, going to the court. So that is what, this is the other side of why these fundamental duties came into the constitution. The other side is, they felt that if people are asking too many rights, let me ask them to do some duty also. So it is just to balance it. When more people ask for rights, the government and the executive wanted to balance it. That is the inner story, underlying theme, underlying reason why this has come up. But you may not have to write in the answer. Don't write this exactly like this in the answer. The reality is, this ruling class, the ruling elites, they got irritated when even the poor people started asking for their rights. They said, okay, let me tell them, let me ask. See, it's something like, if you ask a question, if you ask a doubt through the doubt clearing class, and if I get irritated, and if I say, when you ask a question, if I say that, okay, did you study yesterday's notes? Or did you watch the class properly? And if you say no, then I will say, you did not do your duty, that is why I will not answer your question. I may not be knowing the answer, but I may pretend and project as if, since you did not do your duty, I am not going to tell the answer. So I will not fulfill your right to ask question. So this is the same thing is happening here. The state is a bit, this we can say it's a reaction by the state when more and more people started demanding rights. Otherwise, there is no compelling reason for adding fundamental duties in 1976 after more than 25 years of the functioning of the constitution. Anyway, but still, that is the side story which I said, but the reality, coming back, we will say there should be a sense of duty also. Rights are there. So some democratic behavior and democratic conduct is expected from all citizens. That is why duties are incorporated. and if all of us do our duty properly, India can really progress well, and the prosperity and economic growth, and there will be harmony in the society. If all of us do our duty properly, there will be harmony in the society. Every section of the society can grow, there can be progress, there will be equality, there will be justice, there will be fraternity. So, ideally we should all do the duty so that we can have we can live in a better society. Our society can be a bit more liberal and a bit more democratic and a bit more modern. So, that way we can always say fundamental duties are a must, but otherwise duties are diametrically opposite to rights. Duty and rights cannot go hand in hand, cannot go together. That is the reality. Anyway, so please be aware of this. In an analysis, you can talk about all these things. Okay. So, I have said many dimensions of fundamental duties. So, that is all about fundamental duties, and an analysis on